Mr. De Silva, and my candidate number is 4033.
And I'm Kayla Andrea Twasin Cadenas, and my candidate number is 4016. Time for bed.
And each of us in a bed.
But suddenly she's there. Suddenly her head's round the door.
I know we said sleep, but I thought ski and dipping. Come on, let's. Ski and dipping in the pool before bed?
God, she hasn't lost it. Despite all this grandeur, she's still naughty, naughty, naughty.
Magic words from long ago.
Skinny dipping.
And we're back out into the night, and we're giggling, and we're drunk, and there's no lights in the pool. There's no lights in the ground. Everything's been switched off. And we say, clothes off! Because isn't that the most naughtiest, most alive, most wonderful? Clothes off.
And we take off our clothes.
And some of us cry, and some of us laugh, but we're all moved with the sheer naked beauty of it all.
And I'll always remember that moment. Just something about us standing naked there in the dark. Sometimes when the pills aren't working, I like to remember that moment. And things, well, they don't seem so awful.
Come on, she squeals. Come on, the pool.
And then she's running and she's moving and she launches herself up in the sky, up against the sky, up and up and up.
She seems so high. She's flying. She's an angel. A drunken, laughing, honest angel.
And then she arcs down, and we're laughing, and we're cheering.
And then?
Some of us thought we heard the splash. When you think there's going to be a splash, you hear one. But there was no splash. There was
the crack.
The cracking of her body.
The cracking of her body against the harsh concrete.
Then there was silence.
And there was her groans. And screams. And squeals. Of pain. We edged forward in the dark. Our naked figures moving forward. Until we were at the edge of the pool. And then we see as our eyes adjust.
Pool, no water.
Just hints of water. In a pool now drained.
And in the middle of the concrete, her body crushed and crunched, and her voice now animal, no longer of God or angel.
We don't speak, we don't look at each other. We're too together now to need to look or speak to each other at all.
We climb down. We climb down into the pool.
And we stand around her.
She was still conscious then, still screaming and crying and jerking.
And we wanted to feel what she was feeling. Share the pain. We wanted to feel what she was feeling. We're artists, no! We're people. We wanted to feel what she was feeling.
But it didn't happen.
We stood and we watched the jerking, and we heard the screams. We stood and we watched.
And we couldn't do anything. Couldn't touch her. But we could have felt something. Life without empathy is...
She didn't jerk for long. She went. Did she die? I suppose for a moment it crossed my mind, but she didn't die. She passed from consciousness.
And the great absent thing is lying at our feet, and we're thinking.
This is right. This feels... There is right in that.
I'm sorry there's this pain. I'm sorry you're suffering. But there's justice in this. Something is shaping our ends.
For Sally, beret for us. This had to be.
You see, you reached out your wings and you flew above us for trying emotions.
We're trying. But you thought that could last? Soaring above us, looking down at our lives in the city below? You thought that could last. Of course it couldn't last. And now you crashed right down, and it hurts, doesn't it?
And this feels great. This feels wonderful. I am great. I am strong.
There's a strength in me. Oh, a strength in me. I never knew I had.
And we.
Maybe you will die. And if you die, that means death hasn't come from me.
And we.
You patronize my exhibition in the Bohemian Quarter. At last, I can patronize you. I can care. What better way to patronize you than to care for this mangled, crippled body?
And you would have thought her face, locked in a grimace of pain, intense emotion. But no, her face, on top of that mangled, crippled body, was just as blank as it ever was. And if I could have drilled in that skull or ripped it right off just to know the thoughts and feelings that laid underneath, I would have. I swear to God, I would have.
There's a little stream of piss that comes out of her now. Green from all the wine, and it's funny to think of it now, but it's the piss that focuses our minds.
And suddenly you in an ambulance, and I'll follow in a...
Oh, please take care of my friend, please, the most awful accident!
And in that room, she's wired up and tripped up and hooked up. And we pace the corridors, and we bring each other coffee and cigarettes, and we ask the doctors for news, any news. We never dare tell each other just how. And this is the word, exciting, this all is.
Did you feel that? I wish there was something else, but there was
the excitement that all of us deny, because excitement is not the appropriate response.
It's touch and go with your friend. The doctor says.
It's distinctly touch and go. Come on, but we look like we're supposed to look. We do the little tilt of the head, the little sigh, the tear that comes down our cheek, just like we know it should.
Her body is broken in our minds. A picture, but it's not a feeling, you know?
And one of us, or all of us, anyway, somebody says to her.
You can't hear me, but I have felt the most awful things towards you. And it won't continue. It can't continue. You are down, and I will care for you. Let me in, and I will love you. Please, be here. Don't be absent.